Hello, my name is Ethan Berry. Thank you for watching. Today, my presentation is about an ethical scenario that you might find yourself in as a police officer. The scenario begins with you calling into Central and you getting an approved lunch break. You decide to take this lunch break at your home. On your way home to take your lunch break, you notice a car that is driving erratically, crossing center lines, crossing fog lines, acting like they might be an impaired driver. The scenario mentioned that as you are an upstanding officer, you decide to delay your break and to pull the car over to make sure everything is okay. Upon pulling the car over, you discover that the woman driving the car is the wife of your police captain. When you pull her over, she appears to be intoxicated. She's acting intoxicated. You suspect that she might be intoxicated while driving. The scenario asks, what do you do in this situation? I believe it is important that officers, stand together and to do what they can for fellow officers' families. And while it might be, sticky situations, there is definitely times where families of law enforcement or law enforcement officers themselves may be given some exceptions, but this should be reserved for like minor traffic violations, such as minor amounts of speeding. Drunk driving is not inexcusable. It is completely inexcusable. It should never be allowed. It doesn't matter who is behind the wheel. They are endangering the lives of themselves and others. So in this situation, as I have noted in my written paper, I would do what is necessary, do what I would with any other drunk driver. I would do field sobriety. I would do all the regular tests to ensure that the driver is indeed drunk. And when I find they are intoxicated, I would put them under arrest as I would any other for drunk driving. The presentation, the written assignment, asked what cultural issues might impact your decision. And I believe it's important nowadays to try to encourage as much community policing as possible, as much relationship with the community as we can. And if the community were to find out that an officer let a police captain's wife go, it could continue to breed distrust in law enforcement from the community. So it is very important, especially in our current environment, that we are doing everything we can to build as much trust as we can with the community. And if police captains' wives are getting off with drunk driving, of course this is going to set back community relations significantly. The other thing it mentioned, or the part we wrote about in our written assignment, was what personal values might affect the decision. I don't think that anyone believes that drinking and driving is okay. There's no personal values as far as drinking and driving goes that would ever justify putting yourself or another in danger. Because of this, I don't believe this would affect your personal values. Where personal values might come into play is trying to do whatever you can for law enforcement officers and their families. While I agree that we need to do what we can for other officers' families, I believe that this is an inexcusable crime. It's putting many people in danger. There was the question of legal ramifications of this decision by an officer. And for the driver, there are many legal ramifications. They will likely face heavy fines, heavy penalties. They may have to do community service. They may have to do a number of things that a judge may sentence them to, and they will likely have their license affected, either through very strict regulations or they might have it pulled. That does not fall on the officer, though. The police officer's job is to enforce the law. Because of this, these legal ramifications do not affect the officer. However, if you were to let the woman go, there is a good chance that if she were to go on and kill someone, that officer could lose his job. He could face legal ramifications. They could face civil suits. Because of this, it is very important, especially in these difficult situations, to maintain our integrity. Because of the situation that is involved, there's a good chance that the woman will receive a heavy amount of fines, heavy amount of repercussions from her decisions. However, I believe in the long run, this could actually be to her benefit. If he were to let her go that day, she would continue to drink and drive because she'll feel invincible. She'll feel like there are no repercussions from what she's done. So I believe it is important that you nip that in the bud, that you give her the proper repercussions. That way she'll learn the consequences of her actions, and she will then hopefully quit drinking and driving. She'll stop putting herself and others in danger. It is very important that we maintain the community safety. That is what a police officer is there for, and letting the woman continue and let her go without any ramifications is in the best benefit of no one in the community. It would only benefit her. It would even be a detriment to the police officer. The only thing might be that there is tension between you and the police captain, and if that is the consequences of being an ethical police officer, then so be it. If the police captain does not appreciate what you've done, you can know at least to yourself that this is what needed to be done. Thank you very much for watching.